What's going on, fellas? Today I'm going to show you the exact system I use to bring in 40 leads over one weekend. And this is the exact same system I use anytime I need leads. And if you've seen videos like these before, you've probably been told to just run ads for your service. But what they haven't been telling you is that you should actually be promoting your lead magnet instead of your core offer. And if they do tell you should be promoting your lead magnet, then it's probably something like a PDF, a checklist, a webinar, an ebook, a playbook. There's a lot of just really bad lead magnets out there. So I'm going to show you how to build these new AI lead magnets that are actually valuable to your prospects. And remember, if you guys want to just download all of these automations, go ahead and check out the automation vault in the description. You can just download every automation I've ever built. So I'm going to show you the way that most people are telling you to promote these lead magnets. So the first thing you need is traffic, right? And you've got two options of doing this. First one is you can run the ads and just get paid eyeballs on your stuff, or you can have organic traffic and just post free content on social media. Both of these have their different advantages and both of them work. But once you've got it set up and you've got traffic, you need to funnel all of those eyeballs to a landing page. Now, if you look up examples of lead magnets, you're going to see a lot of stuff like this that just isn't really that useful anymore. PDF checklists, webinars, ebooks, playbook, case studies. No one really wants this stuff. The market's been too flooded with it and nobody cares about them anymore. Now, these methods can still work. They just don't work as well as they could. So let's say someone does sign up for your ebook. They download it for free. And then once you've got their email, phone number, whatever, you can send them email follow-up, text message follow-up, whatever you gotta do to book them on that call. And this is the old way. It can still work, but it's much more difficult in this market. Now, the new way, you can still run paid traffic or organic traffic to a landing page. This part doesn't change. But what does change is your lead magnets. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build these three lead magnets here: a website audit, a YouTube channel audit, and an Instagram account audit. Let's say you're selling a website or website conversion services. What you can do is use AI to do a full audit of their website and tell them where they can improve. From there, you can put them into your email, AI, and AI call follow-up to book that call with them. So now head over to make.com. There's a link in the description if you want to sign up. Now I'll run through these kind of quick because you can just download the templates to the automation vault. But let's start on the AI website audit lead magnet. So let's say you're running ads for your service and you're promoting this lead magnet. What you need to do is have a landing page with a form on it. In that form, you need to have a field where they're able to input their website. Whenever they submit that form, make sure to store all of their data in your CRM. This can be something like Google Sheets if you had to. I prefer Airtable. You can use Go High Level. And once you've got that contact information inside of your CRM, you need to come over to make.com, create a new scenario, start off with an HTTP module, and that is a make request. From here, you just need to put in the URL that they just gave you from that form. And this is just going to spit back a bunch of HTML, which you're not going to be able to read. So what you need to do is get this text parser module and go to HTML to text. Connect this up and just drag in this data variable and save. Next, you need a ChatGPT module and you need to create. You're going to need to connect OpenAI to make.com. You can just do this over at openai.com. Set up an account, get an API key, come back over here, paste it in, and your connection should be complete. Now, you need to go down to, I usually just use the latest system, and we need one system prompt and one user prompt. When you download this template from the automation vault, it's going to come with this prompt you can just paste in. You can look at it here or generate your own using ChatGPT, but it's basically just giving points where the website can be improved, and then it gives it a score at the end. Next, on your user prompt, you need to just bring in the text from the text parser and hit save. Now this next part you don't actually need to do, but it does make it easier. What you need is a set multiple variables module. And if you want the email to work, name this first one report and make the variable value the result from your ChatGPT module. Then the next one needs to be the call to action URL. And this is your custom value that you're going to put in. This is a link to whatever you're trying to promote. So how it works is it's going to send an email with the website report. And at the bottom, it's going to have a button where you can have your call to action. In this case, I'm just going to have this website and hit save. Next thing you need is an email module and send an email. So I'm just going to send this to myself. I'm going to make the subject line something like, your website conversion report is ready. Now you don't have to do this part, but I think it looks really nice. So inside of make.com, on the email module, you can see it says you can use HTML tags. So you can type this whole email in HTML. You can ask ChatGPT to just build something out for you, but I've got this custom one built out that looks pretty nice. And just make sure that the variables match up to the right ones. So there's the CTA, and then there's the report here. So just get rid of this old one and put in the new report. Now we're good to go. Now when you're running this automation, make sure that you've got the HTTPS at the beginning, or else it may not work. You can have it so it automatically has this at the beginning, or just put something on the form saying make sure to include HTTPS in the beginning of your URL. And when you're sending the email, make sure you've got the email of the contact that just submitted the form. So I'm going to go ahead and run this once and we'll see what the email looks like. Okay, so we just got a report. Looks pretty good. It's easy to read with all of the checkboxes. Let's see, call to action is implied but not clearly styled or separated. No button, contrast, or visual weight on CTA. For reference, it's just a simple calendar landing page. So let's see what we got. Headline is a 6 out of 10, offers 5 out of 10, call to actions 4 out of 10, trust 2, clarity 5, UX 6, overall 52. So this website does need some improvement. And then you can see the call to action here, make my ads perform better. So this would work good if you're doing something like a conversion rate optimization service. So once you click on here, it should take us to this website. Yeah. Now, if you want to connect this into your CRM, what you need to do is likely get a webhook and just connect it to your first module and make it so whenever you get a new webhook, it sends all the data to this automation here. And if you need help doing that, there is a tutorial on how to do it inside of the automation vault if you're using Airtable. So now that you've got the gist down, let's say that you're running the Instagram audit lead magnet. I'm going to show you how to use Appify to scrape their profile. So first thing you need to do is go to Appify. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to sign up, and head over to Actors. Go to Store and search for Instagram Scraper. See, this one looks pretty good. So now that we're in here, you can customize this to look however you want. In this case, I'm going to do scrape details of a profile. Then you can fill out all the information that you want here. And then once you've got it looking good, what you can do is go to this JSON button and just copy all of this text here. And then to bring it over to make.com, you need to do this run an actor module. Select the actor you just made. And then you can just paste it into this input JSON. What you have here, you can just paste it over into here. And just make sure that all of your links are the variables from the contact you just made in your CRM. It's pretty important when you're doing this to click this run synchronously button. It's pretty important when you're doing this to select the yes for run synchronously. And the reason this button is so important is because when you get the next module, which is this get dataset items, you need to wait for it to actually do the scraping before you can get that data set. And if you don't click that button, it's just going to run the actor and then keep moving on in the automation. But if you run synchronously, it's going to run the actor, wait for it to finish scraping, and then send the data. So just put in your default dataset ID, and you're going to get all of the results from this Appify scrape. And it's going to be something similar for the YouTube audit lead magnet. Now let's say you wanted to run one of these more valuable lead magnets, which is a free lead list or a free AI voice agent. What you can do there is create another scenario inside of make.com. What you can do is go to the Appify store and just get this Apollo scraper right here. Now you need to edit this URL to your specific leads that you want to get. And once you get those leads, you can enrich those leads and verify them, as well as creating a super personalized first line that you can send to them. Like in this automation up here, I'll link you in the top right. And then you can send that entire lead list in a CSV in an email to that lead using the same template as before. And the likelihood of that lead actually buying from you goes way up because of the amount of value that you just provided to them. Now let's say you want to give someone a free AI voice agent for them to try out. What you can do is go to vappy.com. I made a video on how to set up these AI voice agents. I'll link it here in the top right. But once you build these agents, you can actually copy this assistant demo link. And if you send this over to your leads, they can test it out for themselves. And how you automate that is going into make.com, create a new scenario, and get a Vappy module. Scroll down to create assistant, and you can just put in all of the information on your lead into here and create the assistant, get the link, and send it to them. And something you should know too is if you actually implement these and run these systems, you may get so many leads, so many unqualified leads, I should say, that you're probably going to need a lead qualification process where you ask a few questions to make sure that they're your ideal customer. And from there, you can give them that free value. But if they are not, and they're just trying to get something free out of you, you can downsell them into something else in your funnel. But this funnel works really well. It almost works too well. But that's all I got for you fellas today. Make sure you check out the automation vault in the description. Just download every automation I've ever built. It's going to be free for the next 100 or so people that sign up, so make sure to check that out. If there's something specific you'd want to see, drop a comment. I'll make a video on that. If you found this helpful, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.